Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Apex Wrestling Warzone. I'm Forrest Walpole alongside Tony Sparacio, and we are live from the Greensboro Coliseum Complex in Greensboro, North Carolina. And man, we got a crazy card for you here tonight.
That is correct. Yes, it is I, the Monty Brown of Caw, here for the Go Home Week Before Control, and I can't wait to see what our Apex owner has to say for tonight.
Well, last week I feel like he might be a bit embarrassed after what happened last week. I should say after the show last week, so he might be talking about last week's actions as well as maybe whatever we got going on tonight. Who knows?
Yep, Lee Anderson is trying to get to the bottom of this hacker. Unfortunately, not really getting the answer he was looking for, but maybe he's coming out to show some more and maybe even announce more about Control. I'm excited for it. I believe it's supposed to be sometime this weekend, but that's all I know, and I can't wait to hear more from our owner, Lee Anderson.
Alright, getting the word that he is officially ready to get his words out, so let's get it on. Lee Anderson coming out here next. Before I get some business out of the way, there's one thing I must do after last week. Deshaun Walton, I hereby issue an apology from accusing you last week. But while that was just an assumption, tonight I have come up with a fact. And just shortly after last week's show was over, a backstage personnel came out and told me a very interesting notion. The night that those bastard minions came out and it ruined the damn show for not just myself but for everybody watching it here as well as at home. This backstage personnel caught a glimpse of one of these minions unmasked. And this one minion is the one called One Shot Kid. And this boy, he is going to pay. I already announced the match that he's going to have tonight because, again, contractual obligations. But we have one more thing to talk about. Control is coming this coming weekend, and we got many things to talk about on Twitter for this. Where the hell is he going? I don't know what the fuck's going on. Wait a minute.
He's going up the stage. I don't know.
Hold on. I'm getting some word from backstage. Apparently somebody thought he was getting a bit too emotional, so they forced him to go backstage. I don't know. But anyway, if I know Mr. Anderson, he's gonna probably put something through one of our headsets about what he was gonna talk about just now. But in any case, coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be Drunkard Jimmy in another Drunkard Jimmy Open Challenge in a steel cage. This week, it's Mason Foster going up against him tonight.
Mason Foster, what a great talent he is. One of the best of all time. And and Drunkard Jimmy, I'm getting word. Speaking of Drunkard Jimmy, somebody that surprisingly is confirmed for the Internet Championship Tournament. And speaking of the Internet Championship Tournament, I'm getting in my headset that the brackets for the tournament, as well as all the competitors, will be shown off publicly after the show on Lee Anderson's Twitter.
Oh, that's going to be good. Yeah, so the funny part is I find it amazing how a man like Drunkard Jimmy is being given an opportunity for the Internet title. But to be fair, he is showing a lot more improvement in the last couple of weeks. He's actually putting on some good matches for a man that's supposed to be drunk.
Yeah. I mean, it's the age-old scenario, don't judge a book by its cover, and Jimmy is the key figure, is the face of that mantra, because he's been putting clinics on. Let's see if he can put a clinic on against Mason Foster, though.
And that match is going to come up next.
The following contest is a steel cage match. Making his way to the ring from parts unknown, weighing in at 147 pounds, Dirty Jimmy.
Drunkard Jimmy's, well, being Drunkard Jimmy out here. Coming out as usual, drunk to all hell. Still amazes me how this man's still able to walk out to this ring every night, even though you know he's going to a local bar, trying out some whatever is in the local scene.
I wonder if that's the only shirt he owns, and if that puke stain on the front of his shirt is the same puke stain that we've seen him in from the very beginning, or if that's just, or he's perpetually puked on himself every single time. And look at those weird tattoos on him. Wonder what happened to him there.
I guess he just had, I wonder if he had so many drinks that he just decided to put a random tattoo on him.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, there he goes. What a sad excuse for a human being Drunkard Jimmy is. As good as he has shown himself in the ring, he is quite the miserable human being. Look at him. Thin as a twig, can barely move. But like he's getting to the ring, and if you get in this ring, you're gonna face someone.
And his opponent from Swansea, Wales, weighing
That
in
someone
at
is Mason Foster.
252 pounds, Mason Foster.
Well, Mason Foster, now it's time to go from all joking aside to getting a bit serious now. Mason Foster is absolutely no joke in any way, shape, or form.
I'd say one of the greatest talents in Apex, in CAW history, might I say. I would say a once-in-a-generation talent is the Welsh Dragon Mason Foster.
Well, Mason Foster, he's already made a name for himself as far as Apex goes. He's doing what he does best. He's yet to go for it. He's yet to be a champion, but in my opinion, that's not going to stop him from trying to get any kind of championship gold. considering the fact he's twice gone for the Intercontinental belt. Both times putting on damn good matches, but just coming up short with him.
Just a little bit short. But who knows? Maybe Lee Anderson has seen that, and maybe there is a chance that he does get an opportunity sometime down the line.
And now the bell is rung, and now Mason Foster is going to work on Drunkard Jimmy. So
Jimmy's gonna really make much of an impact on Mason as he did with Alex Wolf.
well, we'll see, because Jimmy lately, like I said earlier, Jimmy's been going off on people who are about his size, if not a little bit bigger, more so than the men that are just so damn big that you know he just can't compete with them no matter how hard he tries.
Yeah, but it seems like he's been showing some tenacity, and he's showing that tenacity right now against Mason.
And the question is, can that tenacity get him a victory here tonight? And it'll be a shock to see if that does actually happen here tonight. Considering how, like you said, Mason's one of the more well-known, well-loved, and well-respected men, and a loss to Drunkard Jimmy, nobody's going to let him live it down the way I see it.
Absolutely no one would. But that would also have huge momentum for Drunkard Jimmy going into the Internet Championship Tournament.
Oh, definitely. Considering how he's got a good matchup, he's going up against somebody that is just as much, if not, he's just as much of a threat to Mason Foster, but because of how this is, we can't reveal who's facing who in the tournament, but we can reveal who is in the tournament. So, there's that.
Yep, brackets, like I said before, what information I was getting before, the tournament brackets will be coming out right after the show goes off air.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the matches that Lee Anderson has made in this tournament. Right now,
Beautiful.
Right now, Silverlake Boston crowd to Drunkard Jimmy. Is he going to tap? Oh man, he's got to be feeling the pain, but Mason Foster letting go of the hold. And Drunkard Jimmy with a knee in the face. I think he was just playing possum.
God.
Now Jimmy, Jimmy now bringing him over in a nice powerbomb loop move.
What's the code red is what that is.
And now Jimmy going for an armbar. But Mason Foster, because of the little strength that Jimmy has, easily able to get out of it.
And also, just the fact that Mason telegraphed that move earlier with hitting it on Jimmy, he knows how an armbar works. He knows his counters.
Oh, an inverted Frankensteiner in my book. The harder hitting variation of the Frankensteiner, and Mason with a cover and a kick out at one by Jimmy.
Yeah, there's only so much a Poison Rana can do.
And now Foster measuring Jimmy. Enziguri kick to the back of the head.
Oh, it's gotta be it.
And now Foster, he ain't done yet. He punches Jimmy right in the face. Still ain't done. There's the super kick. Brings him in a nice straight jacket suplex. Now with a cover. And a kick out of 2.5.
A kick out by Drunkard Jimmy.
And now Jimmy.
What is going on?
Oh my God. I'm starting to wonder if Jimmy's sobering up by now.
Maybe, just maybe. He's getting angry that he's got no booze.
Oh, and a kick right in the chest of Foster. Cover. Oh, kick out at one. And Mason Foster slapping away, and there's a knee just under the nose. cover. And a kick out of two again. How in the hell is Jimmy doing this?
I have no idea. If anything, I would think Jimmy wants this match to end. He wants to get back to his booze.
And there it is. Death Valley Driver cover. And Mason Foster getting the victory.
Yeah, there was no way Jimmy was gonna kick out of the Welsh Valley Driver.
Man, I swear, Jimmy is starting to impress me a little bit every single week now, going off on his opponent, we haven't seen before. Tonight's no exception, but damn, gotta give it to Jimmy. He's did pretty well for himself tonight.
Yeah, I mean, even though he got a loss, it's still quite the momentum shift for the tournament that he is putting up as much of a fight as he is against someone like Mason Foster.
I think that knee is what signaled it. That knee to the face is what I think ended it. But Jimmy just decided to kick out out of sheer willpower. But then that Welsh Valley Driver, as you said, was the exclamation point and the victory for Mason Foster. What a match this was.
Here is your winner,
What a
Mason
match. Beautiful.
Foster.
Amazing effort on both ends.
Yeah, Mason Foster, he's feeling I can believe he's feeling a bit winded, but hey, a win's a win, that's all he cares about.
Great momentum going into Control. Who knows, maybe he will be on one of those in the card. We don't have a full card yet. Maybe this has excelled him to a possible match.
Okay, next, ladies and gentlemen, Barbie Kendall, Kendall Rose, I'm sorry. Kendall Rose taking on the Apex Women's Champion, Olga Markowski, in a steel cage, in what I believe is Olga's, literally her type of matchup.
I would say two of the greatest female athletes that Apex has to offer, going head to head in what is seeming to be a car crash match. Something that is just balls to the wall action, even though there's no balls involved in this match.
Oh, while we wait, Olga is going to have a good time at Control. If you ask me, Rochelle Ross is going to be watching this matchup backstage, as those two women are going to be facing off at Control for the Apex Women's Championship. So,
and speaking of that match, I'm getting the fact that fans are going to be able to vote on what match type they're going to have, and they're going to be able to vote on that match and every other match that has voting at the end of the show, along with the confirmation of the Internet Title Tournament. You, the fans, the voting starts tonight. So on to Lee Anderson's and with all your votes possible. But that's later tonight, and this is right now. We got Kendall and we got Olga. Let's go!
You might want to fix your mic there. You had a little bit of issues there. So, you had a little bit of issues with your mic. Check that out while the entrants are underway.
All right.
Making her way to the ring, from Dayton, Ohio, Kendall Rose.
Well, Kendall Rose, one of the more well-known women wrestlers on this roster, going up against another well-known member. This is almost a dream match, in my opinion, as these two women compete with each other. And like I said, Rochelle Ross is going to be watching this match from backstage. As an added bonus, Lee Anderson has stated that no challenger or champion, no opponents for Control will be allowed to interfere at ringside tonight, as if they're able to anyway. They won't be able to attack anybody, otherwise they'll get a fine for it.
I mean, how could you? We got the cage now.
Women's champion.
Apex is on lockdown.
Champion.
Well, I guess Anderson's actually saying in case they decide to attack him backstage after their match. That's how he sees it. But here comes the Apex Women's Champion, Olga Markowski. This woman, one of, if not the most dominant woman wrestler on this roster to this day.
Yep, one of the pound for pound greatest women in all of CAW, I would say. It is going to be very hard for Kendall to overcome this beast of a woman. But I've seen Kendall overcome quite the odds before. So this is right down Kendall's alley, first, from what I know.
I know Olga already getting things started here as the bell is rung. So now the question is, if you are Kendall, what do you do against Olga?
I'd say just keep away. Use the cage to your advantage. Climb up, maybe. Like, you will be disqualified if you leave the cage, but climb up there. Get away from the beast that is Olga. There is a significant size advantage between the two, and she needs to make sure that that doesn't bite her in the very attractive rear end.
Olga now really pissed off that Kendall just tried to get a show-off victory, a very show-offy pinfall victory over her, and now she's going to make Kendall pay. And that's what happens. That is what happens when you try to show off against the big woman. She's going to make you pay for it. And you got to feel that pain unless you can capitalize on a mistake that big woman made.
Yep, and right now just Olga seems to be dominating.
She seems like she's having a bit of fun toying with Kendall right now.
I mean, if you were that size, wouldn't you, though?
I wouldn't doubt that. I'd probably be doing the same thing. And now Olga pulling back on the hair, trying to get her hands in place as she goes for that crossface like submission hold, but Kendall getting out of it.
You think that was actually accidental? I know for a fact Olga was tempted, so tempted to pull at that precious hair that Kendall's got.
Oh, I don't think it was accidental. I know she wants to go hella crazy on this woman. Oh, when is she ever not going hella crazy on her opponent?
I mean, it's Olga. She is a scary woman. But look at Kendall, using that cage to her advantage.
And double knees right to the chest. Goes for a cover already. And just barely before a 2 count, Olga does a quick out.
Unfortunately, that Meteor could not keep the big woman down.
Right now. And now Kendall's starting to get into things now as she pulls back on the arm of Olga. I wonder if Rochelle Ross is... I know for a damn fact Rochelle Ross is enjoying this, or at least starting to.
Yeah.
Every time...
Once Kendall gets going, it's very hard to get her to stop.
Unless, of course, she makes a mistake and you capitalize on it. That's everybody. You gotta give them... They have the advantage unless they mess up, and then you capitalize on it. If you don't capitalize on it, then that's a mistake on your part as the domination continues. And now Kendall measuring Olga. But Olga just punches her right in the face for trying to go for something. And now Olga with a pile driver right on the top of Kendall's head.
Oh, that's gotta hurt.
Uh-oh, now Olga measuring Kendall now. Go for the Claymore slash running knee, goes for the recovery. And a kick out at 2 3/4.
Insanity that we got to see a kick out from Kendall after a devastating running boot by Olga.
And now Olga with a nice deadlift sit-out powerbomb. And now she's going for it again. Another deadlift sit-out powerbomb. She's saying playtime is officially over. Oh, and a super kick from Kendall. And what a power she does a straight jacket to Olga.
Wow. The fact that Kendall was able to lift her over her shoulders, even she's shocked by it.
Yeah, she went batshit crazy on being able to pick her up. But don't go celebrating too early, because then that's going to cost you. Maybe, most likely it'll cost you if you're too focused on celebrating and not focused on getting the actual 1, 2, 3.
Of course.
Oh, and a DDT to the women's champion. Kendall with a cover. And a kick out of 2. And Kendall can't believe it.
Just for the skin of Olga's teeth, she was managed to kick out of that.
And now Kendall measuring Olga. Number of knees and elbows, and there's the knee right in the face. The exclamation mark, cover again. And Kendall Rose beats the women's champion.
Wow! Oh my goodness! You gotta think that this is definitely going to call for a possible future women's championship match down the road.
A shocking victory, an upset victory for the women's champion. Well, Kendall Rose at the end of the day managed to topple a near 7-foot tall giant of a woman. So she's gonna be going absolutely crazy, pouncing on the opportunity for a future women's title match if Rochelle Ross does not succeed in her match at Control.
Could this show a kink in the armor in the mighty Olga? And can Rochelle Ross capitalize on that possible kink?
Well, coming next, ladies and gentlemen, switching gears, it is time. Earlier tonight, Lee Anderson said that a member of the backstage personnel caught a glimpse at one of the minions, and he said it was One Shot Kid. And tonight, One Shot Kid, as announced earlier, is going up against somebody, and that somebody is Alex Wolf.
You see, can you really believe that guy, though? He could just be a scab that's looking for a promotion. We don't really know. Like, he's not anyone that can be verifiably confirmed. So, yeah, it could just possibly be a red herring.
Well, aside from that one witness, there's really nobody else who can say, yeah, I've seen this man unmasked. This other guy is absolutely 100% correct. Because you can't solely go off on somebody off of just one witness. You gotta have multiple witnesses to clarify that person. But Lee Anderson made the accusation again, and tonight we'll see what One Shot Kid does here tonight. Let's find out.
Go.
Making his way to the ring from Brisbane, Australia, weighing in at 217 pounds, OSK.
Well, One Shot Kid, outside of the trouble he seems to be in right now, he's a man that honestly has made a good-sized presence known in Apex Wrestling. But he's going up against a man that not very many people can say, I've beaten him in Apex Wrestling.
Yep. But Alex Wolf has been on quite the downward spiral. Can One Shot Kid take advantage of the slump that Alex Wolf is in? nearly losing to Drunker Jimmy, losing to Alex Camino. Can One Shot Kid capitalize on an obviously weakened Alex Wolf?
And his opponent, from Los Angeles, California, weighing in at 220 pounds, the natural Alex Wolf.
As you said just now, Alex Wolf going through a starting on a downward spiral. Considering how he's not been having the best of success lately. But he's hoping that this match against One Shot Kid not only puts him in a bit of a better favor with Lee Anderson, but also puts him back high on the title contention.
Yeah, possibly. Alex Wolf, I can confirm, is a part of the Apex Internet Championship tournament. So maybe having a win over a fellow person who has already been confirmed for the tournament, One Shot Kid, can bring him back to the success he's looking for and could possibly bring him to that Internet Championship.
Yeah, but right now that's for the tournament that we have in store for later on this week. And possibly control if he can make it to the finals. But that's then, and this is tonight. He's got to make a big impression to show that he deserves to be in that Internet title tournament.
Of course. What are we waiting for? Let's get it underway then.
So the bell is running. One Shot Kid already running right out to Alex Wolf. I think he's really getting it. I think he's obviously pretty pissed off at the accusation that Lee Anderson threw at him earlier tonight. And honestly, I can't blame him.
This kid is a house of fire, whether he's mad or not, though. He is quite the athlete.
But he's going up against another well-known athlete in Alex Wolf. But Wolf is going on a spiral that's not the type of spiral you want to be going on. Instead, you want to go in the opposite direction as One Shot Kid hits him with a backstabber.
You see, a few months ago, I would have said Alex Wolf is pound for pound one of the best athletes in Apex history. And I think I said that last week. But it seems like these past weeks, he's really been proving me wrong.
Or it could be playing a possible game here, wanting people to believe that he's not that good, only to make a comeback that basically screams, y'all thought I was on that downward spiral? Ha! You gotta be kidding me. He could be playing a game, who knows?
I won't believe it until I see it. Like, I know Alpha likes to play the fact that they play 4D chess and that they're smarter than the rest and all that stuff, but honestly, they're not as strong as they say they are. I think there are some kinks in the armor, and we've been seeing that with Alex as a player.
Alex doing a good amount of damage on OSK, but right now OSK starting to gain control again as he's stomping away on the self-proclaimed The Natural here. And he goes for a nice elbow drop off the top rope to Mr. Wolf. And a cover.
Perfect.
And a kick out of 2. All that, not even 5, don't even feel like it's barely past the 5-minute mark and already Alex kicking out of 2. That's not really a good sign.
2s. I think Alex Wolf on his better days would have kicked out at 1, I would say. But the fact he's kicking out at 2 at someone that's a rookie. This is his rookie year in COD. He shouldn't be losing his cool and losing and getting 2 counts so quickly into the match against somebody in their rookie year.
Well, right now, Alex Wolf, when you see this going on, you know the man is the man is patting the head into the turnbuckle is really pissed off, and honestly, after what Alex Wolf's been going through, I honestly really cannot blame him. But he can't let that anger get the better of him, otherwise it's going to cost him the match.
Yep, this anger is really pushing it, unfortunately. But it's just what OSK needs to do to capitalize on it. He needs to use this anger to benefit him as he goes through this counter mutilation. And Alex Wolf just got out of it, and now he's going to work on the knees of One Shot Kid. And a nice enziguri sends Wolf down on the ring floor. This has been quite back and forth for someone of Alex's caliber to have.
And there's a DDT there from OSK as he does a very nice looking one at that. And another elbow drop off the top rope, this time on the rope and now in the corner of the ring.
OSK using the cage to his advantage, leaning back on it, maybe being able to just stand on the ropes like that.
I just did a discus punch to Alex Wolf, and Wolf with an uppercut counter and a nice T-bone power slam.
Yeah, and as much as I think that Alex has lost it, he still is an amazing athlete.
Now Alex Wolf making a comeback, and OSK somehow just getting up right straight up on there as he gets hit with a knee to the top of the head.
Is that going to be it for him, though?
Wolf just pacing back and forth, elbow right to the face, and now OSK. Ooh, Wolf tried to send him into the cage, but One Shot stopped him in his tracks and gives him his own knee to the top of the head.
The pendulum brainbuster has worked well for both men.
And now One Shot back to back, and now it looks like he's going to do his own comeback. Goes in the corner, and Alex Wolf misses his target and gets kicked out of the side of the head. Oh, and
he capitalized.
Oh, he goes for a nice move there, cover, and a kick out of 2.
Wow. This rookie is putting up quite the fight against Alex Wolf.
And then nice cutter from OSK. There's a cover. Oh, kick out of 2 and 2.9, I would say. Literally.
Yeah, just definitely a 2.9 right there.
Just right before the ref could make that 3 count, boom, Alex Wolf kicked out. And honestly, this is the part where he should be kicking out at around the 2, if not near the 3, if not just before the 3 count mark.
How much left can Alex take, though?
Uh-oh. Sorry for interrupting you, but OSK going on the top rope.
No.
Oh, no, he's going with it. He's going. Coast to coast. God damn.
God.
A coast to coast from One Shot, and that may have been it for Alex Wolf cover. And that is all she wrote. One Shot with a victory.
Oh my God. 2 weeks in a row, Alex Wolf has not gotten the job done against someone who we would think is far superior to, or far inferior to him, is superior for the past 2 weeks.
Oh man. Alex Wolf is just, I mean, don't get me wrong, this match was another great showing for him, but lately, as good as his showings have been, he's just not been able to get that W in a steel cage. It's almost like this cage is his weak point.
What I can definitely say was that One Shot Kid definitely did move like one of the minions. So I don't know. I was speculating that it was just some kind of scab worker in the back, trying to get a promotion, but he might have a point.
Well, it's all in cause of speculation at this point. Regardless of how you see it, he could be right, he could be wrong. But at the end of the night, at the end of the day, One Shot Kid victorious here tonight in a very good back and forth matchup.
Definitely amazing match we have seen tonight, and I hope we get to see even more amazing matches as we continue down this card.
Well, coming next, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be an interesting turn of events, because coming up next, Matthew Moretti is going one-on-one against JD Rec in a steel cage. And what I say about this is the fact that JD is a relative of TK Rec, so it's going to be, so we'll see if Matthew Moretti can beat JD, because some people believe he won't be able to beat TK, no matter how hard he tries at Control.
Correct. The first cousin of TK Rec, looks like he's going to be doing TK's bidding tonight as he tries to soften up TK's opponent this Sunday at Control in Matthew Moretti.
Well, Matthew Moretti, honestly, I don't know what's going on in his head, but the one thing I can tell is the fact that, honestly, even though he's lost the Apex World title, it's been a while since I've seen him with the Apex World title. It's a fact that he's honestly starting to make a sort of a comeback here in Apex Wrestling. Although some people believe that, well, we'll talk about that when we get to the entrances. But right now, Matthew Moretti, JD Rec, steel cage. Let's get it going.
Go.
Making his way to the ring from Rome, Italy, weighing in at 204 pounds, Matthew the Maverick Moretti.
Well, Matthew Moretti ready for this matchup against a relative of the man he will be facing this weekend at Control, and that is TK Rec. But, as I was going to say, even though it's been a while since we last seen him with the Apex World title, losing it in his first defense, if you ask me, Matthew Moretti has been slowly but surely making a bit of a comeback to the point to where he might possibly be in title contention once again, regardless of which belt it is.
Yep. You have to get to your absolute lowest of lows before you get to the highest of highs, and Moretti did get to that lowest of lows, losing in his first defense, the Apex World Champion, but eventually has built his way back up, but not without a few hurdles, and one of those hurdles being the 7-foot monster, TK Rec.
Matthew Moretti, as well as we already know, TK will be coming out later on tonight in a match with Reckless Intent. With the Reckless Intent leader, I should say, Franco Ricci, in a tag team match against the Charm City Kings. I can't wait for that match. But that's later on tonight. This is now as Matthew Moretti looks to take on, as you said, the first cousin of TK Rec, and that is JD Rec.
And his opponent from Harlem, New York, weighing in at 230 pounds, the voice, J.D. Rex.
JD Rec actually making a good name for himself here in Apex. He hasn't even been in that many matches, and already he's gone up against some of the biggest names in car history.
Yeah, JD has carved out quite the niche for himself in the Apex roster. even without the help of his first cousin, the far more successful former Apex World Champion TK Wreck. But unfortunately today, he's going to have to help out his first cousin by, softening up his control opponent.
The only question is, these two men are of equal size. And the only question is, will it be the Roman gladiator that is Matthew Moretti, or the streetwise JD Wreck, as Matthew Moretti, after the bell is rung, already going to work on JD Wreck. He is not taking any prisoners tonight, as he just throws JD right into the cage already. He is pissed.
Making a statement to his opponent this weekend. Just beating him senseless, not giving him time to soften him up.
Well, I understand why he's making a statement, but he can't let that anger get the better of him, as he just barely misses the steel cage, grinding the back of him.
Yeah, you can't take JD lightly. He has brought it to some of the biggest names in Apex, and it's just another name on JD's list that Matthew Moretti is.
Matthew Moretti this past weekend went through a war and made another promotion, going through hell and back, and tonight I'm surprised he's decided to wrestle here tonight after what he went through in that other show. But hey, that's what a wrestler does. They're willing to take the risk as long as the reward is really great.
They have to keep them obligations started, and I know from personal experience, once you get on that road, you have to stay on to keep that ring shape. And just getting off to heal some injuries was just not a priority for Moretti. Keeping that ring conditioning is definitely something that he needs to keep in mind.
Oh, JD with a nice powerbomb to Matthew Moretti as he goes to the cover. Probably not going to be enough, and a quick out at one by Moretti. That's definitely not going to be enough to take him out. And Moretti
giving him a taste of what a power bomb from a member of the Wreck family feels like.
Oh, nice clothesline there from JD. And Moretti. JD with a nice suplex on Moretti.
You can almost see the fact that you can almost see traits of TK in JD, which is what is so special about this thing. You get all the power and intensity of TK, and you just shrink it down into a size that can fit in a little compartment.
Right now, these two are going at it back and forth right now. Moretti with the advantage here. And counter by JD. I was about to say, nice gladiator kick, but no, JD blocked it. And now Moretti going to make him go face first again out of the steel for the third time tonight. He wants to send TK a message, and trust me, when he wants to send a message, he might just do that here tonight. Oh, what the hell is that?
I don't know what that was. It looked like some kind of back elbow kind of thing.
Oh, now JD going for it, knees him right in the face. JD with a cover. We're going to make TK proud. And just like that, I can't really be shocked about it, but JD with a victory, and I can't be shocked about it, because like I said, Moretti went through a war this past weekend, and man, honestly, JD took advantage of that.
You gotta think that, like, with beating a former Apex World Champion, some kind of championship gold might be in his future.
Here is your winner, The Voice, J.D. Rex.
Now I wonder if TK was backstage watching his cousin take out Matthew Moretti. Goddamn, I'm surprised I fucked that up. But anyway, JD Wreck now bringing that guitar back with him as he has that crazed look in his eye, ready to see whoever his opponent is going to be, whoever his next opponent is going to be.
Yeah, quite the cool cat indeed, and just like the people in this next match are.
Well, speaking of this next match, Tamura is literally in his biggest fight of his career, both figuratively and literally, as he goes one-on-one against the near 500-pound Bruiser Brad.
Yeah, Bruiser Dad himself. Haven't seen much of him since like Fallen Kingdom stopped really teaming with each other, but he's looking to get a big victory against the Apex World Champion in Tamura. And I'm getting something on my headset. The fact that Bruiser Brad is going to be one of the 16 names that are confirmed now for the Apex Internet Championship Tournament.
Well, damn, oh damn, well, Brad might be ready to fight tonight, but on that night, but right now, he's going up against the world champion. And speaking of the champion, Tamura, he's got his own match against Austin Collins, and I can already imagine Austin backstage laughing his ass off, seeing that this small Tamura is going up against a big Bruiser Brad.
Yeah, Collins, I know, is a big fan of the big Bruisey Dad himself, and he's looking to get some help from Bruiser himself to, give Collins a little advantage for Apex Control.
Well, it's time for the match. Brad Tamura steel cage match. Let's see what happens.
Making his way to the ring from London, England, weighing in at 485 pounds, the Bruiser, Brad Adams.
I'm not gonna lie, I was wondering when and if this match between Bruiser Brad and whoever is the world champion was gonna happen. Well, it's gonna happen, but in all honesty, I believe it's gonna be happening in favor of this man right here, this big, near 500-pound man, Bruiser Brad.
He looks ready to rumble in my mind, and he is ready to step inside that Apex cage that has become just a staple now for just our matches. It's just a matter of time before we get to see this big man locked up in the cage.
My honest opinion, this cage is... I wonder if Bruiser Brad is going to have a little smile on his face that he's going to try to hide. But in all honesty, that cage is going to be Tamura's ultimate enemy now more than ever.
Tamura's got nowhere to run and nowhere to hide from the big 500-pounder.
Ooh, some new attire from our world champion. I'm liking
And
this.
his opponent from Tokyo, Japan, weighing in at
beautiful 10 pounds of gold around his waist.
The World Heavyweight Champion, the Dragon, Tammy Race.
Oh, Tamura, like I said, in for the fight of his life. It wasn't sure to be his toughest challenge, his toughest fight yet. Going up against Bruiser Brad in that cage. I'd say his odds are pretty damn slim, but there may be possible that he might come out victorious in this matchup.
Tamura does have a history, though, with beating down big men. I mean, this is the man that has beaten TK Wreck every single time the two have stepped in the ring together. So if there's anybody that's going to cut down the giant that can do it, it is Tamura.
The only thing is, Bruiser Brad is at least 100 pounds bigger than TK Wreck. And he's a bit, I'd say probably a bit taller than him. So I guess the old saying would be, Bruiser Brad is no TK Wreck. We'll see if he can be the Giant Killer once again in this one-on-one matchup. And here comes Brad. And TK just slapped the fuck out of Brad just now. That may have pissed this big man off. You don't slap a man in the face.
You don't slap a giant. This might be David and Goliath, but this ain't no Bible story.
Oh, and Brad with a beer throw on Tamura, and you got to give Tamura credit already. He's trying to take it to the big man, but Brad might just be a bit too big for him to take down. But if he does succeed, I will be amazed at this man, and I might feel like nobody can stop this man from, kicking his ass.
Like I said, he's beaten down big men before. And it looks like he's getting to do that right now.
Uh-oh. Oh, now Tamura slapping the face of Brad again. As if he really wants to piss off this big man. And Brad makes him pay by Irish whipping him right straight out of the steel of the cage.
Again, I said it in the beginning of the match. I'll say it again. You don't slap a giant.
But Tamura managed to somehow Hurricane Rana a near 500-pound man. But Brad, it's going to take more than a Hurricane Rana to take this big man down.
Definitely will.
Oh, wait a minute, wrong. A cover by Tamura, but Brad kicked out it with a quick on at one.
Try to get the quick win.
Yeah, the only problem is when you're a small man trying to pin a big man like that, the big man most likely will most likely kick out of it because of the size difference.
And hey, even if it was a full 3 count, the cage will probably be too slow for Tamura to escape, and the angry giant would get his hands on the tiny Tamura.
Oh, now Brad, speaking of getting his hands on him, does a nice two-handed choke bomb right onto the small man, and now Brad back in control.
Bruiser Brad, the biggest man I've ever seen in the ring. It's insane watching him from where I'm standing. Even with this cage kind of taking my view away, it's still insane to see.
Oh man, and Brad just gave Tamura that big 500-pound splash in the corner, but no, Tamura kicked out at 2. And honestly, I'm shocked because that would have taken the wind out of you.
It would take the wind out of any normal man. But Tamura is not any normal man. He's our world champion.
Oh, and another one. This time crashing his way right down on Tamura. And a kick out at 2.9. And Tamura now feeling the effect of getting the crap, getting the air taken out of him by so much force from this 500-pound man. I just hope we don't go where I think he's going. Oh, and a nice shoulder tackle to Tamura. And now Brad already with a cover. Not even gonna go for, not gonna hook the leg up. Being a bit cocky, not doing that, and now again Tamura hit with a side slam.
You don't need to even hook the leg. He could just lay his entire mass onto Tamura, and he has to really bring him up.
Well, right now Brad has counted almost everything Tamura has thrown at him, and Brad even tried to damn near crush this man. But Tamura the first time kicked out at 2.9. The second time, I feel like Tamura won't be as lucky if it hits again. Speaking of which, Brad measuring Tamura, looking to finish it here. Oh, he's going for the bear hug! He's going to try to squeeze the life out of Tamura here.
Oh my God, could this be it?
Oh man. Tamura, oh, Brad lets him go. Brad let him go, and now he's going back to toy with him, not going for the cover. Now he is. And just like that, Bruiser Brad literally just choked enough air out of Tamura to beat the world champion.
Wow.
What a dominating display we just witnessed from Bruiser Brad. Tamura.
Very impressive. And who knows, maybe after the pay-per-view, Brad could be in line for a world champion.
Well, the worst part is, if he is, Tamura better hope he don't get it against him, because this was just so dominating to the point to where this is probably the most humiliating defeat Tamura has ever had as world champion.
Unfortunately so. Tamura has been humiliated tonight, and hopefully it doesn't happen this weekend at Control when he faces Austin Collins.
Well, Collins, I can really already hear him now. He's laughing about this defeat. He's really laughing about it. I can already imagine it happening right now as he looks to gain the world title. But in all honesty, Austin Collins better not be laughing, because if Brad does not go for the internet belt and he decides to go for the world belt, it's not going to end well for anybody that stands in his way.
Definitely, and it will definitely not be good for either of the people in this next match.
And speaking of this next match, coming up next, it is the Tornado Tag Team Steel Cage match, pitting Reckless Intent members Franco Ritchie and TK Rec against the Charm City Kings. This, in my opinion, is really a dream match.
It definitely is. After a stunning victory from Reckless Intent, beating our tag team champions, could they pick up a victory against the #1 contenders?
You know, that's a good question, and I can already see Kaiju already. What, again, going back to the champions and challengers, whoever's not participating tonight is watching backstage. And so far, the champions have, so far as we've seen twice now, the champions haven't been doing too good. Olga beat Kendall, Kendall beat Olga, my bad. And as we just seen, Bruiser Brad just demolished Tamura.
Yeah, but the champions aren't here, the challengers are, and a hot tag team is here as well in Reckless Intent. Who knows? I hope TK's not really just overlooking this and just thinking about his Apex Control match. Let's hope he's taking this as serious as possible.
Well, right now, that's for later this week. Tonight, he's got to stay focused for his match. because a loss against the #1 contenders, while instead of getting a victory over them, that could send Reckless a little bit down the rankings of a tag team title match.
Of course. I don't know, maybe TK's not even interested in the tag team titles. He was a former world champion. Maybe he might look to get that world title back.
Well, we'll see what happens here tonight as Reckless and the Charm City Kings do battle in a steel cage.
To the ring, at a combined weight of 685 pounds, Franco Madman Ricci and Tough Man TK Rex, the family.
TK and Franco, TK and Franco. I was thinking of the other Franco that is in the company a little bit there just now. But now these two men, they've shown how dominating they are in a tag team match, but now the question is, how good are they against the #1 contenders?
I don't know, we're just gonna have to wait and see. TK especially mean tonight.
Well, you got one half of the Charm City Kings. That man is Brandon Ace. And here comes his tag team partner, the big, badass Michael Carter.
A beast of a man, I would say.
Honestly, I would say that man's damn near as big as Bruiser Brad. We just seen that too long ago.
591 pounds.
Possible dream match I'm seeing right now. It's Michael Carter and TK. I can't wait for them two to get at it.
The Brotherhood.
Oh, dude, that would be a damn good matchup there, and I'll be honest with you, I agree. Right now, got two tag teams that have the same formula right now. Big man and little man tag teams. Sometimes they have good success, other times they're not able to best their tag team opponents who may or may not be able to counter that. But right now, you got two of the more well-known tag teams, four names that are synonymous in not just in Apex, but possibly anywhere else in the world, in the community.
In all of CAW, I like to say.
And now here it goes, and already TK's going after Brandon Ace and not Michael Carter, and Carter's going after Franco Ricci.
I think they're trying to weaken down the smaller of the two.
Maybe weaken down the smaller of the two and possibly get that potential sequence, that potential big man versus big man thing going on here tonight. That's happened before, and it might happen again tonight. Oh, and TK gets nailed in the knee right in the face. And Franco now knees Carter right in the face there as Carter just knees him around. And Carter, no, not Carter, Ace with a knee right in the face of TK. And now look at this. Back and forth, already hell breaking loose between these two teams. As TK gets leveled in the knee to the face.
Got insanity going on everywhere.
Yeah, they're damn near close together. Right now, TK and Brandon, TK just taking it to Brandon, while Franco is starting to work on Carter's legs.
That's how it is. You gotta take down the legs of a giant.
And already,
is just swatting Brandon.
Well, Franco Ricci just did an elbow drop to Carter. Ace stopping TK from climbing out of the cage.
surprising that TK would be the first one to climb out, and not Franco or not Brandon Ace.
And Owen, he ran a side of the head of TK from Ace as Brandon looks to start to climb to the top of the cut. No, he's going for an elbow drop.
Go.
And now a shoulder tackle from TK. And now Carter. What's he going for here? Oh, wait a minute, TK. He's going after Carter. Brandon Ace is going to try to escape the cage. And Lewis going to power TK as he does the electric chair drop. And now TK's got to focus on Ace before Ace escapes the cage.
Go.
Now Owen Lewis, nice strategy from Reckless. They both distracting. They both had Baltimore or Charm City distracting by working on TK, but up until now it was working perfectly as Franco was climbing to the top of the cage. Ace is out, and Franco Ritchie trying to get out of the cage. Carter is down. TK's following his partner. What the hell is Carter doing? Just staring dead at Franco, and now he's working on TK.
Oh, we got two big men stuck in a cage. I love it.
Oh no. TK dangling literally by a thread, and now these two going to work on each other. Both the smaller men are out of the cage. They're wanting to see their partner escape the cage. Michael Carter gets taken down. TK's climbing the cage again.
Will it be for the last time?
He's over the top. About ready to climb over. Carter getting up. And now Carter going off on the side of TK as TK kicking him off. That might be it for Charm City.
Oh
TK,
my God.
Wait a minute. Carter just got right back up.
Carter's not having it. He won't let TK leave.
He wants his team to be the victorious ones. He wants to walk out not only as the number one contenders, but the winner of this matchup. Even though they are already number one contenders, but you get my drift. You get my drift.
He wants momentum going into control, and the only way he's going to get momentum is by taking this 7-foot monster off this cage.
And he just did. Will it be enough? Will TK be down long enough for Carter to get out of the cage? TK's starting to move. We'll be able to get up before Carter gets out of the cage. No, Carter goes over. He's out. Charm City is victorious.
Good job on both ends. Amazing work. Insanity all throughout the match. Congratulations are due, though, to Charm City Kings.
What a nice tag team steel cage match. And TK, he's not happy at all. He was pretty damn pissed off looking at Carter climbing down the outside of the cage.
And the Beast, Michael Carter, the Brotherhood.
Damn, I can only imagine what's going through TK's head. As happy as he is to see Matthew Moretti lose his match, he's equally not as happy at the fact that he could not secure a victory over the Charm City Kings alongside Franco Ritchie.
Yep. But with all that being said, it is time for your main event.
Yeah, it's time. Blake Adams and Kurt Carter as we look toward control. It's going to be one hell of a doozy, I can tell you this one. Look at this. These two men have something to fight for here tonight, and there's a reason why they're in the main event, and that's because of that thing that they're fighting for.
Yep, two former Intercontinental champions, and I'm getting in my ear that both men are going to be cashing in rematch clauses. I don't think either have actually cashed in. They are going to be going for Jaden Shadow for that Intercontinental champion in a possible triple threat match. But the question is, we're not really getting what the vote is going to be on. We're just going to have to wait and see after this broadcast ends. We're going to be seeing all the different things you can vote on for Apex Control, including this match. Whatever that voting may be, you have the power to alter this match to your liking.
So let's see what these two men come right to the table as we are on the road to as we are on the Go Home Show. The main event of the Go Home Show to Control as far as Warzone goes. Let's see what these two men can do.
Making his way to the ring from Houston, Texas, weighing in at 215 pounds, young blood Blake Adams.
Well, Blake Adams, he has been wanting an Intercontinental title rematch ever since he lost it in a triple threat match to Jaden Shadow, which also involved Mason Foster as well.
Yep, Blake Adams, one of the most overlooked competitors in all of Apex, I would say, has definitely made a mark here in Apex and is looking to continue that mark by getting back the Intercontinental Champion this weekend at Control. But he's going to have to go through two other competitors, which is the way he lost the title in the first place. Will that play a role in how the match goes? Oh, my eyes.
That should
And
go.
his opponent from Los Angeles, California, weighing in at 206 pounds, Kurt Carter.
First off, damn it, JoJo, you had all that time and then you do it now. Goddamn. Anyway, as I was going to say, this is actually a rematch. Considering how these two men fought for the Intercontinental title a couple of months back, with Carter as the champion and Adams as the challenger, and Adams would go on to win that match.
Yes, at Apex Chase for the Gold, Kurt Carter was doing double duty, defending his Apex Intercontinental Champion against Blake Adams, but having the idea that he could be a world champion the same night, being a double champion, either happened, unfortunately, and I think Carter, it's been eating Carter alive that he was not able to do that impossible task.
It makes sense considering now we haven't really seen him wrestle much ever since that night in question. But now he is here and he's ready to, and he looks like he's ready to get some payback on that night.
Honestly, I don't think Kurt Carter's quite the vengeful kind of person, but after what's happened to him as of late, I think he's ready to just inflict some pain onto people that have done him wrong.
And now Blake Adams with a nice move there. As now this is going a bit back and forth a little bit right now. And the question is the only question is, will Blake Adams, will the match result of their last encounter be on repeat, or will it be the reverse happening tonight? As Adams with a cover and a quick on at one.
The also got to take in the idea that this match is inside a steel cage, something that was not a factor in their last match together.
That's very true. Right now, Carter now working on Adams.
He's not taking him as lightly as he did back at Chase for the Gold.
That'd be a no-brainer, considering the fact you... Whoa! What the fuck? God damn it, both went for high aerial moves, but they both missed each other. God damn!
Yeah, we got a Will Ospreay Ricochet situation going on here with these two.
And now Carter gonna go for an elbow drop, but he completely overshoots it.
That's what's worrisome about this cage. You don't know how much spring in the ropes are in the middle of the ring until you jump like that.
Right now Carter gets countered by Adams, as I was going to say something there. And now Carter gets missed. Look at that. Goddamn, so many crazy things going on right now. As Carter just spins him around and makes him go face first on the ring. And now Carter going for an elbow drop, and oh no, this time it was a shooting star press.
Good God!
Oh, looks like Adams actually... Oh, Adams holding on to that knee a little bit. That's not good.
That's not good.
He just held on to his knee like Adams... Carter may have landed hard on that knee there. But he's got a...
Let's hope it's nothing serious.
Yeah, let's hope. And a knee right in the face of Adams, and Carter with a cover. And just like that with the knee, and the fact that Adams just barely was able to walk as he was getting up. And that was all she wrote, and Carter with the victory.
Well, congratulations are due to Carter, but we gotta worry. We gotta think about, is Blake Adams seriously injured? Will he be able to make it to the pay-per-view this week?
Look at that knee right in the face, just about knocked out Blake Adams. Good Lord, that's gonna... Wow, and Carter... Carter being a bit cocky about that victory.
I mean, I wouldn't be all too cocky. I would say that it was Adams' injury that took him out instead of Carter's knee.
Well, you don't know if it...
Carter is victorious, but really it's quite a tainted victory.
And the only question is, with the fact that he held on to that knee after Carter came down with a shooting star press, the only question is, what is the extent of that damage? Was it minor, or is it enough for him, or was it just some sort of bruise that could honestly be fixed up relatively quickly and he'd be okay by the time control comes? We don't know. But right now, that's all on our minds right now. But Carter with the victory over Blake Adams. What a match. What a show it has been tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Crazy night tonight. But with that being said, that is going to do it for us here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Forrest Walpole. He's Tony Sparacio. And we are signing off from Greensboro, North Carolina.